We're just going to spend the rest of the time having me answer questions. And there are no rules other than you have to raise your hand. We have microphones in the audience. And I will try to go boy, girl, so that nobody accuses me of any bias. All right? And if you can introduce yourself, that would be great. All right? There's a gentleman back there. First hand up. Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Senator. Welcome to Roseburg. Before you go, I'd like you to address the timber safety net questions, but I have a personal question now. My son's here, 18 years old, goes to this school, heading off to Oregon State in the fall. Go Bees. I'm a single father and having some trouble with tuition, and I'd like to know if you have any ideas of how you're going to get specifically kids from high school into college who have financial problems.
Absolutely. It's a top priority. Let me talk about education more broadly, and then I'll get to the tuition issue. We are going to have to do a much better job educating our kids if we want them to compete in a 21st century economy. I've got all kinds of ideas to bring manufacturing back. I want to make sure that we're addressing issues like county payments that are specific to Oregon. But ultimately, our long-term success is going to depend on whether or not our kids are getting a good education. And right now, some are and some are not. But as a whole, we are falling behind other countries, other advanced nations. So, where does it start? We start with early childhood education. I want to invest in early childhood education to close the achievement gap, because there are a lot of kids who are starting school already behind. And every dollar we invest in early childhood education, we actually get $7 back in improved reading scores, reduced dropout rates, reduce delinquency rates. That's step number one. Step number two, I want to pay our teachers more, and I want to give them more professional development. And I've allocated billions of dollars to help recruit new teachers as baby boomers are retiring, giving them better professional development, giving them better pay. Teachers, we can't keep on talking about how great teachers are and then not rewarding them so that they can live a solid middle-class life. Number three, we've got to revamp No Child Left Behind. Now, I believe in high standards, and we need high standards for our kids, especially in areas like math and science. But when those high standards are measured just with a high-stakes standardized test that happens in the middle of the school year, what is happening is that we're forcing teachers to teach to the test. We're putting pressure on school districts to teach to the test. And subjects like art and music and science and civics, history, literature, these things are being crowded out. It's uninspiring for the teachers, it's uninspiring for the students, and it does not give them the tools they need to actually measure progress during the course of the year. So we're going to change how No Child Behind is done. All right. If we've done all that, then we're going to improve graduation rates from high school. But you're absolutely right that high school is not enough. We're going to have to... It's going to be very hard to find a job that provides a living wage just on a high school education. So I'm glad your son's going to Oregon State. And nothing against Oregon, but my new brother, my brother-in-law is the new head coach of basketball at Oregon State. So we're going to see if we can... We're going to see if we can win a few games. We're going to make some progress there, but in terms of financing college education, a couple of things we can do. Number one, I want to have more Pell Grants available to more students. We are putting an awful lot of burden on loans and not enough grants. Loans have to be repaid, and our students are coming out with too much debt. So, expanding Pell Grants. Number two, lowering interest rates on loans and expanding the level of the amount that the loan can be so that students are able to finance their education. Now, in terms of financing those two things, all we need to do is to stop letting banks and financial intermediaries serve as the middlemen on student loans. They're making billions of dollars of profit. We take those profits away and put them back into the loan and the grant programs, we can actually provide more assistance to students. And let banks make profits on other things, not on the backs of students who are trying to finance their education.